Good morning, all of you, and we'll see some numerical problems related to filtration process. Okay, so these are also very simple but not very challenging. But just have a look on how to calculate the individual design parameters. Okay, yeah. The first problem. A city is to install a rapid sand filter downstream of clarifiers. The design loading rate is selected to be 160 meter cube per meters per day, and the design capacity is about 0.35 meter cube per second. The maximum surface area of the filter is limited to only 50 meters square. And design now the number of size of the filter and calculate the normal filtration rate. It is also very simple. You can calculate the number of filter bed required and what could be the filtration rate. Okay, yeah. Surface area that you can use this formula, that is either loading rate or velocity is equal to Q by V, and the area is equal to Q by the velocity or the loading rate. Loading rate is already been given. This is also almost similar to that velocity. So if you see 160 meter per day, or you can say meter cube per meters per day also. So you can substitute 160 meter cube per meters per day and 0.35 is Q in terms of meter cube per second and multiply by 24 into 60 for meter cube per day. Meter cube per day as well. Okay. And if you substitute and make it area as 169 meters square. And step number 2, it determine the number of filters, number of filter beds or number of filters. Total area is known or calculated from the previous step, and it is also been given in the problem that total surface area is limited to 50 meters square. So thereby 189 by 50 it becomes now 3.75, and you can equate to 4 number of filters. That also we discussed. Okay, so normally if the filter beds are designed in even numbers, thereby the common, for example, filter number 1 and filter number 2, this could be the common wall, and the piping may be also common for both of the filters. Okay, so select now, consider 4 filters. Now the surface area you can calculate for individual filters, that is 189, that is total area divided by 4, thereby 47.25 meters square. Okay, so anyway, now this you have to equate either rectangular or square depending upon the space availability. So I have decided like 7 by 7 that square, or you can have 6 by 8, or you can have 5.9 by 8 meter as an exact size. So you can equate the size fractions into either rectangular or square depending upon the space availability. Okay, yes. Now if 7 by 7 meter filter is installed, then you can find out what is the filtration rate. That is also being asked in the problem. So filtration rate is flow again by the area. Okay, so 0.35 meter cube per second. So convert in terms of meter cube per day. For that, multiplication of 24 by 60 into 60 divided by 4 number of filters multiplied by 7 by 7. It is the area, 7 by 7. So thereby the actual filtration rate after the design, it is 154.3 meter cube per meters per day. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it is not very challenging, but the only thing is about you just understand how to calculate these parameters. Okay, number of filter bed required, and what is the size, and third one is about your filtration rate. Okay. Yeah. Next one is calculation of the head loss. Okay, so clean water at 20 degrees Celsius is passed through a uniform sand with the filtering velocity of 5 meters per hour. You can convert in terms of meter cube per second. It is not mentioned. The sand grains are 0.4 mm diameter, and the shape factor is 0.85. So if it is anything on the mention on shape factor, then you can assume that spherical particles are not exactly spherical. These are non-spherical particles. Okay, sizes are not uniform. Viscosity gravity is 2.65, and depth of filter is 0.67 meter, and the porosity is about 0.4, and you have to now determine the head loss. Okay. Then for a 20 degrees Celsius, you need to refer the table column of standard properties of water, and you can pick up the dynamic viscosity, that is 1.002 into 10 power minus 3 Newton second per meter square. Okay, so this equation we are already familiar. Anyway, so we are going to use this formula, that is Kármán-Hausni's equation, that what we have discussed, HF is equal to F dash into L 1 minus E the Vs square divided by E cube into G into dP. So this is the equation to calculate that head loss. If the material is homogeneous and flow is also laminar. So that we have discussed in the last class. Okay. So F dash is again the friction factor, and E is equal to porosity, and Vs is equal to the velocity, and dP equal to diameter of the particle. Okay. So you can calculate the step number 1, or you can check whether I can use this formula or not. Okay. So for that you check your Reynolds number. Reynolds number, it is Re is equal to rho Vd by nu, that is kinematic viscosity. Kinematic viscosity again replaced as dynamic viscosity by rho. So rho will come up. So thereby rho Vs into d divided by mu, and you can also introduce pi. Pi is the shape factor. That is also mentioned in the problem. Substitute all the values. 0.85 is been given. 998.2, that is at 20 degrees Celsius density of water. And Vs is also been mentioned in the problem directly as 5 meter per hour, or otherwise is 1.39 into 10 power minus 3 meter per second into the diameter of the filter. Diameter of the filter grains is 0.4 mm, 0.4 into 10 power minus 3 divided by the dynamic viscosity of water, 1.002 into 10 power minus 3 Newton second per meter square. Okay. If you calculate now, you may get a value as 0.47. Okay. So it is less than 1. Obviously, this follow a laminar flow condition. Thereby, I can use this formula. You can use this formula. Okay. Yeah. And for using this formula, then you have to calculate what is F dash value. So F dash is equal to 150 into 1 minus E divided by Re plus 1.75. And Re is being calculated from the previous step, substitute here. And thereby F dash becomes 193.24. Okay, so being familiar with all the individual values, F dash we have calculated 193.24, and depth of the filter is also mentioned in the problem as 0.67, and porosity is given as 0.4, and the velocity is also been given as 1.39 10 power minus 3, and porosity is again 0.4 cube into G, that is 9.81, into diameter of the particle is 0.4 into 10 power minus 3, and if you substitute, you may get a head loss as 0.6 meter. Is it okay? Is it fine?
Yes.
Yeah. So please, these are direct substitutions, but only thing is about you have to be cautious on individual calculations and the units what you are substituting in the equation for calculation. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Now the third problem. Okay. Third problem is also not very challenging. So design an appropriate dimensions of a set of sand filter for treating water required for a population of 50,000. The rate of supply you have to supply in terms of 180 liters per person per day, 180 LPC. The filters are rated to work 5,000 liters per hour per meter square. This filtration rate is being given. Assume whatever the data are necessary if not given. Okay, so please make a note of 50,000 population with the 180 liters of water per day per person that you have to design, and filtration rate also it is mentioned 5,000 liters per hour. It's very simple. So normally I have already mentioned to you that these filtration systems are designed for maximum flow conditions. Maximum flow conditions, you have to use the peak factor as 1.8 times the average daily demand. Okay. So average daily demand is 180 liters per day. You have to multiply it by 1.8. Okay. So now you can calculate maximum demand per day, which is equal to population multiplied by maximum demand of supply. Okay. Or you just multiply. What you do now? You just find out what is the average water supply, average demand, which is equal to 50,000 population multiplied by 180. Okay, you may get an average demand. Okay, then you can also find out what is the maximum demand is equal to peak factor into average demand. Okay, so which is equal to 1.8. Okay, so this I have solved in a single step, but you just remember average demand, which is equal to population multiplied by the rate of supply, and maximum demand you have to multiply by the peak factor. So here it is mentioned this is 1.8 into 550,000 is population, 180 liters per capita per day. Thereby the maximum demand is equal to 16.2 into 10 power 6 liters per day. Okay, yeah. Now you can find out what is the maximum demand per hour, because the filtration rate is being given in terms of liters per hour per meter square. Okay, the demand is again liters per day, so you just convert in terms of liters per hour to make both the units are uniform. So water demand per hour is equal to 16.2 into 10 power 6 is your maximum demand divided by 24. So you make it 675 into 10 power 3 liters per hour. Liters per hour. Rate of filtration is directly given. Then you can find out the area of the filter is equal to water demand divided by rate of filtration, area of the filter. Okay, so area of the filter is equal to 675 into 10 cube liters per day divided by 5,000 liters per meter square. per hour. That is your filtration rate. If you substitute, you may get the area as 1035 meters square. Okay, yeah. So now anyway, I have to design for even number. So I can have 2 units are required to be designed. So thereby area per unit is equal to 135 by 2. This is 67.5 meters square. Okay, so now for the design aspects, you can assume L by B, which is equal to 1.5, or length is equal to 1 point times S width of the filter. Okay, so you can now substitute L into B. L into B is equal to 67.5 meters square. Okay, L can be replaced as 1.5 B into B, which is equal to 67.5 meters square. 1.5 B square equal to 67.5. Thereby, the width of the filter is 6.75 and length is equal to 1.5 times of 6.75. So thereby, you can have length is 10 meter and your width is equal to 6.75 meter. Then apart from these two, okay, you need to also have one more additional unit as standby. Thereby, if it is anything on the breakdowns or repair or during cleaning, you can operate with other standby units. Thereby, it is possible to meet out your daily demands without any difficulty. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's very simple, but not very challenging. Okay, just to go through the systematic way of solving the problem. Okay, yeah. Okay, last problem. We'll design the rapid sand filter. Okay, so rapid sand design the rapid sand filter includes your size anyway that we have seen in the previous problem. That anyway we have to look into. Number one, size of the filter, and then you have to find out the diameter of manifold. Okay, third one is diameter of lateral, and fourth one is about the length of laterals, and fifth one is number of laterals. Number of laterals you have to find out, and sixth one is about perforations in the laterals. Perforations in the laterals, and seventh one is about the wash water trough. Is it okay? So I'm not going to solve in individual problems, but we'll see everything together in one. But the examination or calculation point of view, you can go with individual step by step. So this problem may be the combination of 5-6 problems together, but you just understand systematically. Okay, yeah. So now your task is to design 4 mld of water. 4 mld of water. So average water required per day is equal to 4 mld. Okay. Now you just assume. So assumptions are all important. Assume 4% of filtered water is required for washing of the filter every day. Okay. So you need to have 4% of 4 mld. So that will be used for backwashing the filter. Therefore, the total filtered water required per day is equal to 1.04. That is 1.04 times of 4 mld. Okay. If I treat 4.16 mld, it will meet out 4 mld of water demand, plus it may also satisfies like 4% of filtered water to backwash the filter. Is it okay? The step number one.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah. Now I cannot operate 24 hours because sometimes some period of time will be wasted or lost during washing of the filter. Please make a note on assuming the second assumption, assuming 0.5 hour, half an hour is lost every day in washing the filter. Thereby, the total filtered water required per day is equal to 4.16 is your total filtered water requirement divided by I can operate only 23.5 hours. So thereby, the filtered water required per hour is equal to 0.177 million liters per hour. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the second step is very simple. And third one is you can assume a rapid sand filter. You can pick up filtration rate as 5,000 liters per hour per square meter. Okay, so 5,000 liters per hour per square meter. That is your filtration rate. Okay, so anyway, total flow is known divided by 5,000 liters per hour per meter square. Thereby, you can able to find out area of the filter, 35.4 meter. Is it okay? So now you can assume L by B ratio as 1.5. L by B ratio as is 1.5. Then you can also have two number of filter beds, 2 beds. Okay. or you can repeat the same problem what we had discussed in the previous problem statement. Okay, so you can find out or divide the total area by 2, thereby 70. This will become 17 or something. Then assume L by B ratio as 1.5. Then find out what is the B width of the filter and the length of the filter. Okay, so now you can adopt 2 filters, each of with dimensions of 5.2 meter and 3.4 meter. Okay, so this anyway this is something similar to the problem what we have discussed in the third problem statement. That's all. L by B you assume as 1.5, and you can also assume minimum of the 2 filter bit. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now the dimensions we have found out, that is 5.2 meter by 3.4 meter. Okay, so now you have to now design for under drainage system. Okay, under drainage systems you are already familiar. These are central manifold pipe. These are laterals. These can be fabricated in a design manner, so that can be brought, that you can place inside the filter. Okay, for the collection of treated water, and at the same time you can also allow the backwash water to wash the filter as well. Okay, so yes, let a manifold and lateral system be provided below the filter bed for receiving filtered water and to allow the backwashing water for cleaning. Okay, that's what we have discussed. Okay, so this consists of a central manifold pipe. That's what I told you, central manifold pipe with laterals having perforations at their bottom. Okay, please make a note of. So it should also have the lateral pipe with perforations at the bottom to collect the treated water. Okay, yeah. Okay, third assumption now, to design the system, design the under drainage systems, assume the area of the perforation is equal to 2% of the total filter area. So please make a note on, sorry, 0.2%. Area of perforation is equal to, third assumption, area of perforation is equal to 0.2% of total filter area. Okay, so therefore, total area of filtration, total area of, not filtration, perforation. Total area perforation is equal to 0.2% of total filter area. Okay, so total area perforation is equal to 0.2 by 100 multiplied by 5.2 by 3.4. That what we discussed, which will become now 0.035 meter square. Okay, please make a note on the, up to this we have a subsegment, how to calculate the area of perforations. Okay, yeah. Now assume area of each lateral is equal to 2 times the area of perforations in it. Okay, please make a note on this. Is another assumption, fourth assumption. Okay, area of each lateral is equal to 2 times of area of perforations in it. Okay, so now the total area of perforation is equal to 2 into 0.035. That what you have calculated from the previous step, which is equal to 0.07 meter square. Okay, now assuming the area of manifold is equal to twice the area of the lateral. Okay, this also is something is important. Okay, so these 3 assumptions are important. Okay, let me repeat again. Area of perforations in the lateral is equal to 0.2% of total filter area, and area of each lateral is equal to 2 times of area of perforations in the laterals, and area of the manifold is equal to 2 times the area of laterals. So these 3 assumptions you have to remember. Okay, so now area of the manifold is equal to 2 times with the previous one, 0.07 meter square, which is equal to 0.17 or 14 meter square. Okay, so now you can being familiar with the area, you can find out what is the diameter, because these manifold pipes are circular pipes. Pi d square by 4 is equal to 0.14, thereby diameter of the pipe is equal to 0.42 meter. So you can use 45 centimeter, that is nearby, 45 centimeter diameter pipe, manifold pipe, laid lengthwise along the center of the filter bottom. Okay, so this is your dimension. You can place the central manifold pipe at the bottom of the filter bed like this. Is it okay? And you can also plan the laterals like this. That's what perpendicular to the manifold and emanating. So laterals running perpendicular to the manifold, that is widthwise, emanating from the manifold may be laid as spacing of 15 centimeter. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is something is important, 15 centimeter. So the central manifold pipe is at the lengthwise direction, and you can plan laterals on both the sides of the manifold, which is emanating from the central manifold pipe, and the spacing between also is about 15 centimeter. Okay, yeah. So now being familiar with the spacing, and you can find out how many number of laterals you may require. Okay, so length of the length of the tank is 5.2 meter. So I am converting in terms of centimeter. 5.2 into 100 centimeter divided by 15 is center to center. So thereby the number of laterals becomes 35. Number of laterals becomes 35. 35 in number. Is it okay? 5.2 meter into 100 centimeter conversion divided by 15 centimeters center to center spacing. Thereby the number of laterals required is equal to 35 laterals. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now 35 I cannot do it. Then I may have 34 on 17 on both the sides. Is it okay? 17 on the other side, 17 on both the sides. Is it okay? Is it fine? 34 into 17 laterals on each unit. Is it okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Now you can find out what is the length of the lateral. The length is very important because this is your central dimensions of your filter bed. I have placed central manifold pipe like this, and I have kept 7 laterals of like this. So now I can find out what is the length of the lateral. So I'm interested to find out what is the length of the lateral. Okay. So length of each lateral is equal to width by 2. Okay. Width by 2. This width by 2 minus the diameter of the manifold minus the diameter of the manifold by 2. Okay, thereby I can able to find out what is the length of each laterals. Okay, so width is equal to 3.4 meter divided by 2, width by 2 minus the diameter of the lateral, manifold is 45 centimeter, 45 by 2. That is 0.45 by 2. Thereby each length of the each lateral is equal to almost 1.475 meter. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now you can in the laterals you can adopt 13 centimeter diameter perforations. These are also assumption. Please make a note on 13 mm. That is half inch. 13 mm diameter perforations. That total area of perforations we have already calculated in the step number 1. Okay, total number of perforations is equal to 0.035 meter square. That we have already calculated, which is equal to 350 centimeter square. Okay, so now this total area of perforation, which is equal to x number of perforations multiplied by the area of perforation. That is pi into that 13 mm, that is 1.3 centimeter square divided by 4. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now we can find out how many number of total perforations in all 70 laterals. So there are approximately 274 perforations in all 70 laterals. Then now we can find out number of perforations in each lateral. That is 274 by 70. So you may get 3.8. You can place 4 perforations in each lateral. Is it okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Now you can find out the area perforations per lateral because I have 4 perforations in each lateral multiplied by the area 5 by 4 into 1.3 square. Thereby the area perforations per lateral is equal to 5.3 centimeter square. Okay. You can calculate area perforations. And this assumption also we already discussed. That is the area of lateral is equal to 2 times the area perforations per lateral. So thereby area of the lateral is equal to 2 into 5.3. Thereby 10.6. This 10.6 again equated to pi d square by 4. Thereby a diameter of lateral can be 3.7 centimeter. Okay. So now you can write a statement like 70 laterals, each of 3.7 centimeter diameter and 15 centimeter to center spacing, and 4 perforations in each lateral of 13 mm diameter size with 45 centimeter as a manifold. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is something is important that you just find out or check how to calculate the diameter of the manifold, diameter of the lateral, and number of laterals, and number of perforations, and what is your length of the each lateral pipe on both the directions. Okay. Yeah. The last one is your wash water flow. Okay. You can have you can design for a wash water trough at the top. Okay. Now assume the rate of washing of the filter is 0.45 meter or 45 centimeter rise per minute. Okay, please make a note on this. Something is important. You have a filter. This is your wash water trough. So what I do, I may allow the filtered water to flow from bottom to up. Thereby the bed will rise. Okay, this rise is being mentioned like this. Okay. The rate of washing of the filter be 45 centimeter rise per minute. Okay. Therefore, the wash water discharge you can calculate directly. Okay. That this is 0.45 meter. So this volume I am going to calculate. This volume I am going to calculate. 0.45 meter height or rise multiplied by the area of the filter for 5.2 by 3.4 meter divided by 60. So thereby the wash water discharge is equal to 1.133 meter per second. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now I can find out what is the velocity in the lateral pipe, lateral for wash water. So velocity you can easily find out. So this is your flow, 0.133 meter cube per second. So that will be through 70 laterals, area of 70 laterals, 70 into 5 by 4. The diameter is about 3.7 centimeter square by 100. So you may get the velocity of the water to be in the to be supplied through the laterals as 1.77 meter per second. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is also something which is important. And now you can find out what could be the velocity through the manifold, central manifold pipe. Okay. Velocity of the flow in the manifold pipe is equal to discharge by area. Discharge is 0.133 meter cube per second. And the area of manifold is equal to pi by 4 into 0.45, 45 centimeters square. So thereby the velocity becomes now 0.84 meter cube per second. Okay. Is it okay? If I allow the bed to rise for 45 centimeter, I am in a position to supply backwash water through the laterals of almost 1.77 meter per second, and through your central manifold pipe as 0.84 meter per second. Okay, so with the level of 0.84 meter per second, I could able to rise the water with the level of 45 centimeter in the wash water trough. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now the last part is about how to design the wash water trough. Okay, so wash water trough are generally kept about 1.5 meter to 2 meter apart. So in a length of 5 meter, 5.3 meter bed, let us provide 3 trough. Okay, so now I am planning like wash water troughs in the lengthwise direction, something like this. What we have seen in the PPT. Okay, I think if you remember correct, I have shown one photograph before this thank you slide, and how to operate the filter and how to clean the filter. Okay, so now the wash water troughs are placed along the lengthwise direction. Length is about 5.3 meter, 5.2 meter. We are already familiar. And I'm going to place troughs with the distance in between as 1.2 meter, 1.2 meter or 2 meter apart. So thereby, if I place 3 washer trough, total 5.2 is my length divided by 3 number of troughs is equal to 1.73 meter apart. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now the total flow in the total flow to be collected as 1.133. That's what we have calculated from the previous step. Okay, 0.133. Then you can collect how much amount of water to be collected in each trough. Okay, so thereby this is 0.133 meter cube per second divided by 3. So thereby it becomes now 0.044 meter cube per second. Okay, so now you can design the trough using a empirical formula like this. Okay, so Q is equal to 1.376 B y power half. Okay, please remember this equation. And Q is equal to discharge, B is equal to width of the trough. Normally it is in the range of 0.2 meter, and Y is equal to water time. Okay, now you can calculate Q is equal to 0.00044 per trough into 1.376 into width is 0.2 meter. Now it is Y, this unknown factor. So now I have to find out what is the water level rise in the trough. This height I have to find out. Okay, so Y. So Y that I may have 30 centimeter. Then keeping it for a safer point of view, that is 5 centimeter as a freeboard. Thereby the total depth of the trough becomes now 30 plus 5, 35 centimeter. Then I can provide 3 number of wash water troughs of size 35 centimeter by 20 centimeter can be used for the collection of backwash water. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so please go through, and this is because if you refer some of the textbooks, it may runs pages together. Okay, it is somewhat difficult to understand also because each and every problems are in a segmented approach, but you can look into the same problem and logically understand how to design for a filter. That will be useful for calculation of number of problems. Is it okay? So what
Sir,
we have discussed, yeah.
So from X1 point, you should take these as assumption, all standard.
Yeah. Because anyway, we are going to have only MCQs only. No, it will be mentioned in the problem. Only thing is about you have to calculate. That's all. Is it okay?
Yeah, okay.
That's what I told you, because it's it is somewhat difficult to ask really lengthy problems like this. That's what I've written here: diameter of manifold, diameter of laterals, and the length of the lateral, number of laterals, number of perforations, and wash water troughs. What is the Q value, and what is the depth of wash water trough? As a small segmented statement problems. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this covers the entire filtration. Okay, at least just have a glance and look into a concept point of view. That something is important for the examination. Okay, or for your better understanding also. Okay, yeah. Let me share